I was knitting a scarf by the edge of a cliff, completely unaware that the other end of it had already fallen into the abyss. Soon, my knitting speed could no longer keep up with the scarf's descent. The next second, the scarf pulled me off my chair, so I kept knitting while walking toward the edge of the cliff. When I looked down, I realized the scarf was already 10 meters long, but I didn't stop. Instead, I knitted even faster. Suddenly, the growing weight of the scarf nearly dragged me over the edge. I hooked my foot tightly around the cliff's rim, my only point of support. Yet facing the abyss, I felt no fear at all. Continued knitting frantically, even faster than before. I knitted while struggling to climb back up onto the cliff. My movements became increasingly manic. The scarf whipped wildly through the air. By then, I had made it back to solid ground. I became utterly mesmerized by the scarf floating in midair, fluttering like a ribbon. But then I realized something was wrong. I had run out of yarn. The scarf fell from the air and quickly began sliding down the cliff. I was dragged along with it. No matter how hard I pulled, I couldn't retrieve it. In that critical moment, I noticed the hair I had grown for 20 years. An idea flashed through my mind. I decided to use my hair as yarn and continue knitting. Soon, I was once again lost in a frenzy of knitting. But before long, even my hair was gone. There was nothing left around me to use. Suddenly, the 100-pound scarf dragged me toward the edge again. I struggled desperately, but in the end, I couldn't break free. Just as I was about to fall into the abyss, I saw a pair of scissors beside a stool not far away. I crawled forward as fast as I could. However, just as I was about to reach them, the knitting needle jammed and snapped. This time, the scarf pulled me into the abyss at terrifying speed. But a miracle happened. At the very last second, I bit through the scarf, barely saving my life. Exhausted, I stared into the bottomless abyss. The next moment, my hands began making knitting motions again, unconsciously. But soon, my thoughts returned to reality. I threw the knitting needles off the cliff. That moment, I finally let go of my obsession. I turned around, picked up the scissors, and sat down on the stool, gently fiddling with them. That was when I realized I seemed to have fallen in love with the sound of cutting.